Y'all listen to me. The way you start your day determines how you live your life. And I'm telling you right now, if you wake up and you don't start with gratitude, you already lost the battle. See, every morning you open your eyes, that's a gift. That's purpose. That's potential. That's another shot to do it better than you did yesterday. But some of y'all waking up complaining, I'm tired, it's too early, I gotta go to work. No. You get to wake up. You get to breathe. You get to chase your dream. That alarm clock didn't wake you up. Grace did. God did. Purpose did. And when you wake up with gratitude in your heart, you set the tone for the whole day. You can't be thankful and negative at the same time. You can't focus on complaining while you're focused on blessings. Gratitude builds momentum. It builds energy. It builds resilience. I dare you, before you even touch your phone, before you look at the world, look within, say thank you out loud. Thank you for life. Thank you for another day. Thank you for strength. Start your morning like a warrior, not a worrier. Gratitude ain't weak, it's a weapon. And if you want to go to the next level, you better learn to use it every single morning. Gratitude resets your mindset. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most powerful truths you can ever embrace. When you wake up in the morning, your first thoughts shape your day. They guide your emotions, your actions, your energy, and even how you respond to people and situations. That's why starting your day with gratitude is not just a nice thing to do. It's a strategy for success, peace, and purpose. Think about it. You've just opened your eyes. You're still in bed. And in that moment, your mind is either reaching for stress, worries, distractions, or it's reaching for something higher. When you consciously decide to begin the day with gratitude, you interrupt the cycle of negativity before it starts. You take control. You're no longer letting the world set your mood. You setting the tone for the world you're about to step into. Gratitude is not passive. It's an active decision. It's an act of discipline and awareness. It's easy to wake up and immediately think about the bills you have to pay, the job you're not passionate about, the argument you had last night, or how tired you feel. But gratitude flips the script. Gratitude says, before I complain about what I lack, let me acknowledge what I have. And when you do that, something powerful happens inside you. Your mind begins to rewire itself. You stop seeing problems as burdens and start viewing them as challenges, as lessons, as stepping stones. That's the reset. That's the shift. You're no longer stuck in a loop of fear, anxiety, or disappointment. You've realigned your mind with hope, purpose, and abundance. People don't always realize how much power they give away each morning. The moment they check their phone, scroll through social media, or read the news, they're allowing the outside world to decide how they feel. But when you start with gratitude, you reclaim that power. You say, no, I'm going to begin from a place of strength, not stress. You become intentional about your energy. This isn't just about feeling good either. Science backs it up. Studies show that people who practice daily gratitude have lower levels of stress, sleep better, and even have stronger immune systems. It changes your brain chemistry. Gratitude increases dopamine and serotonin, the chemicals that make you feel joy and peace. So it's not just a mindset, it's medicine. When you reset your mind with gratitude, you become more focused. You stop chasing distractions and start chasing purpose. You begin to see opportunities where you used to see obstacles. You engage with your goals from a place of abundance instead of desperation. You're more patient, more present, and more powerful. Let me tell you, life will always have problems. That's a guarantee. You will have challenges. There will be mornings where you don't feel like getting up, where things feel heavy, where the future feels uncertain. But gratitude doesn't wait for everything to be perfect. It doesn't rely on good circumstances. Gratitude says, even in the storm, I choose to be thankful. That choice is what resets your mindset. Imagine starting your day by saying, thank you for this breath. Thank you for another shot at life. Thank you for the people who love me. Thank you for the lessons I've learned, even the hard ones. You're not pretending everything is great. You're choosing to focus on the things that are. That decision, that focus, that practice, it becomes your superpower. Gratitude doesn't ignore reality, it reframes it. You stop being reactive and start being proactive. Instead of dreading the day, you step into it with purpose. Instead of looking for what might go wrong, you begin searching for what can go right. That shift in perspective is the difference between surviving and thriving. And let me tell you something else. The people who are most successful in life, whether it's in business, relationships, health, or mindset, they've learned how to control the way they think. They've trained themselves to be grateful, not just when life is good, but especially when it's hard. Because gratitude is a weapon. It's how you fight back against doubt, fear, anxiety, and negativity. So the next time you wake up, before you do anything, pause, breathe, speak gratitude out loud, make it real, say it like you mean it, let it set the tone. Don't let your circumstances decide your attitude. Let your attitude influence your circumstances. Gratitude resets your mindset. It puts you in the driver's seat. It tells your soul that you're ready. It tells the universe that you're open. It tells your purpose that you're serious. And that's how greatness begins. Not with luck, not with talent, but with a heart that chooses to be thankful before anything else. That's how you win. One grateful morning at a time. Waking up is a privilege, not a guarantee. It's one of those truths that we often overlook, something so basic yet so powerful. Every time your eyes open in the morning, every time your lungs take in a fresh breath of air, that's not just biology, it's a blessing. It means you've been given another shot, another opportunity to live, to grow, to make an impact, to chase your dreams. But many of us treat it like it's automatic, like it's owed to us, like it's part of the package deal of life. The truth is, it's not. There are people who went to bed last night and didn't get to see the sunrise today. And yet here you are, alive, breathing, thinking, reading. That alone is reason enough to be thankful. We live in a world that moves fast. Alarms go off, notifications buzz, schedules demand our attention, and responsibilities weigh heavy. And in all that noise, we forget the miracle of simply waking up. The moment your feet touch the ground, that's not something to take lightly. That's a divine reset. No matter what happened yesterday, whether you failed, fell short, argued, felt broken, it doesn't matter. Waking up means you've got a brand new chance to do it differently, to do it better. And that's what makes waking up a privilege. It's not just about being alive. It's about what you do with the life you've been given. Every morning you wake up is proof that your story isn't finished. There's more to write, more to say, more to accomplish. You're not done yet. And that alone should spark a fire inside you that should ignite a level of gratitude that makes you want to show up fully with heart and hustle every single day. Too many people waste their mornings. They wake up and instantly complain about the job they have to go to, the body they're in, the life they're living. But think about this. There's someone out there lying in a hospital bed praying for just one more normal morning. Just one more chance to walk, to talk, to breathe without pain. And here you are complaining about the very thing someone else is dreaming about. Waking up isn't something you have to do. It's something you get to do. When you understand that it changes how you live, you stop taking time for granted. You stop living on autopilot. You begin to realize that every second you've been given is a gift. And gifts are meant to be used, cherished, and honored. You start to move with purpose. You speak with more kindness. You work with more intention. You stop wasting your energy on things that don't matter and begin investing in what truly does. Waking up gives you access to change. It means whatever mistake you made yesterday, you can correct it today. Whatever goal you didn't hit last week, you got time to chase it now. You're not stuck unless you choose to be. That's what makes waking up such a powerful moment. It's freedom, it's permission, it's potential. And listen, nobody knows how many mornings they have left. That's the truth we don't like to talk about. We assume tomorrow is coming. We act like we've got endless time, but we don't. That's why it's so important to treat each morning like the gift that it is. Wake up and live like it matters, because it does. You matter. Your life matters. Your purpose matters. And every single morning is a reminder that the world still needs you in it. Gratitude grows when you recognize that your time here isn't promised. It humbles you. It motivates you. It makes you look at the clock differently. Suddenly, 5 more minutes of sleep isn't worth more than 5 minutes of growth. Scrolling on your phone doesn't feel as important as checking in on your dream. Hitting snooze isn't as appealing as stepping into your calling. When you see waking up as a privilege, you start showing up like you mean it. You move like someone who's been chosen, not cursed. You walk like someone who's aware of the blessing. You talk like someone who knows that time is sacred. And that mindset, that awareness, That's what separates people who exist from people who live. So tomorrow morning, when your eyes open, pause. Don't rush into the noise. Don't jump right into distraction. Take one deep breath and realize you didn't wake yourself up. The alarm clock didn't do it. Grace did. God did. Purpose did. That breath in your lungs is evidence that your mission on this earth isn't done yet. You've still got something to give, something to build, something to become. Waking up is not routine. It's a reminder that you're alive for a reason. And when you carry that awareness into your day, everything changes. Your attitude shifts, your focus sharpens, your energy multiplies. Because when you know that today wasn't promised, you stop wasting it. You start living it fully, gratefully, powerfully. So don't just wake up. Wake up with intention. Wake up with gratitude. Wake up ready to give this day everything you've got because you've been given the chance. And that chance is the greatest privilege of all. Gratitude fuels purpose. It may sound like a motivational quote, but it's a deep truth that can transform how you live your life. Purpose doesn't just come from setting goals or chasing dreams. It comes from recognizing that your life, your opportunities, and your experiences all mean something. When you live in gratitude, you begin to see your purpose more clearly. You start to move through life with more clarity, more passion, and more direction because you're no longer focused on what's missing. You're focused on what's possible. When you're grateful, you stop asking, why don't I have more? And you start asking, what can I do with what I've got? That shift in thinking is where purpose is born. See, purpose isn't just about what you want. It's about what you're willing to give. It's about what you're willing to serve, build, and contribute to the world. Gratitude gives you the eyes to see your life not as a burden, but as a platform, not as a series of struggles, but as a series of assignments. You begin to recognize that your story matters, your gifts matter, and your voice matters. Think about it. When you're constantly comparing yourself to other people, when you're bitter about your situation or your setbacks, your vision gets clouded. You can't see your purpose because you're too focused on your pain. But when you practice gratitude, your heart opens up. You stop seeing life as something that's happening to you and start seeing it as something that's happening for you. Even the struggles become part of the calling. Even the tough moments have meaning. And when you can find meaning in your moments, you begin to walk in purpose. Gratitude is a compass. It keeps you centered when life gets confusing. It reminds you of what's real and what matters. Purpose isn't just about chasing big dreams. It's about being faithful in small things. And when you're thankful for the small things, when you appreciate the little moments, the ordinary gifts, the daily lessons, that's when you start to tap into your deeper calling. Because here's the truth. You can't live with passion if you're always living with resentment. You can't build something meaningful if all you feel is entitlement. Purpose requires perspective. You have to see your life through the right lens. And gratitude gives you that lens. It helps you see your gifts instead of your gaps. It reminds you that you already have enough to start, enough to serve, enough to grow. Some people are waiting for everything to be perfect before they pursue their purpose. They say, I'll go after it when I have more time, more money, more support, more clarity. But gratitude says, start with what you have. Use what's in your hands. Be faithful with your now. That's how purpose is unlocked, not by waiting for more, but by doing more with less. And the only way you can do that is if you're grateful. Gratitude gives you strength when the journey gets hard. Because let's be honest, pursuing purpose isn't easy. It comes with setbacks, failures, disappointments, and doubts. But when you're grounded in gratitude, you don't give up as easily. You don't let challenges defeat you. Instead, you find the lesson, the growth, the hidden blessing. You stay in the fight because you're not just doing it for recognition or rewards. You're doing it because you're thankful to even be in the arena. That kind of mindset is powerful. It's magnetic. It inspires others. People are drawn to those who live with gratitude and purpose because there's a light in them that can't be dimmed. They're not bitter. They're not chasing empty validation. They're walking in something real, something bigger than themselves. And that's what we need more of in this world. People who know what they're here for and are grateful to live it out. When you wake up in the morning and say thank you, you're not just acknowledging the gift of life. You're activating your purpose. You're reminding yourself that you got work to do, that there's someone out there who needs your voice, your presence, your story, that you're not just here to survive, you're here to serve. And that mission, that sense of divine assignment becomes your fuel. You start to see the people around you differently. You listen more deeply, you give more freely, you work more passionately, not because everything is perfect, but because you've learned how to be grateful in the middle of the process. And that gratitude transforms your process into purpose. You no longer feel lost or aimless. You wake up with intention. You move with conviction. You live like it matters. So don't wait for a sign. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait until life gets easier. Gratitude is your starting point. Gratitude is the doorway to your calling. When you make it your daily habit, you will discover that your purpose was never hidden. It was just waiting for you to pay attention. And once you see it, once you really embrace it, everything changes. You stop chasing meaning and start creating it. You stop asking what's missing and start declaring, I'm ready. Because gratitude fuels purpose. It makes your life rich, not in stuff, but in substance. And when you live with that fire in your heart, when you rise every morning knowing you've been given a gift and a mission, you become unstoppable. There's something powerful about setting the tone for your day, and it all begins with how you start your morning. Before the world gets loud, before responsibilities demand your attention, there's a window of time, those first few moments after waking up, that determine the direction your day is going to take. Gratitude in those moments is like a steering wheel. It puts you in control. It gives you focus. It reminds you that no matter what lies ahead, you're already starting from a place of peace, appreciation, and strength. Most people roll out of bed and they immediately reach for their phone. They check messages, emails, social media, and before they've even brushed their teeth, they're already reacting to the world. That's a problem. Because when you start your day in reaction mode, you give away your power. You let external circumstances dictate your internal state. But when you start your day with gratitude, you reclaim your control. You choose your mindset before the world tries to choose it for you. Imagine waking up and before doing anything else, you take a deep breath and say, thank you. Not for anything big, not for some dramatic breakthrough, just for waking up, for the breath in your lungs, for the chance to begin again. That simple act shifts your energy. It grounds you. It connects you to the present. And it reminds you that even if nothing else goes right today, you've already been given something valuable, life itself. Gratitude doesn't just make you feel good. It makes you think differently. It rewires your brain to focus on what's working instead of what's lacking. It teaches you to see possibilities instead of problems. That shift in thinking changes everything because your thoughts create your emotions. Your emotions influence your actions, and your actions build your reality. When you start your day with positive thoughts, everything that flows from there carries that energy. Let's be real. Life isn't always easy. You're going to have hard days. You're going to face stress, disappointment, and setbacks. But gratitude is like emotional armor. It protects you from negativity. It gives you perspective. You stop letting small inconveniences ruin your whole mood. You stop giving energy to things that don't deserve it. You carry a kind of calm confidence into your day because you've already decided how you're going to show up. When you develop the habit of starting your day with gratitude, you start to notice how everything feels different. You're more patient in traffic. You speak more kindly to others. You treat your work with more care. Why? Because your heart is full. You're not chasing validation or drowning in stress. You're centered. And when you're centered, you perform better. You communicate better. You live better. It's not about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing what you focus on. Every morning you wake up, you have two choices. You can focus on your problems or you can focus on your purpose. Gratitude helps you choose purpose. It helps you see that no matter what challenges you're facing, you still have value to give. You still have something to contribute. You still have reasons to keep going. People who start their day with gratitude don't wait for happiness, they create it. They don't wait for everything to go right. They make the most of what's already right. That's the power of intention. That's the power of choice. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. And the way you start your morning sets the tone for those responses. Think of gratitude as a daily ritual. It could be as simple as writing down 3 things you're thankful for or speaking a short prayer. or just pausing for 30 seconds to breathe and reflect. You don't need an hour-long routine. You just need consistency. Over time, those small acts create massive shifts in your mindset. They teach your brain to default to thankfulness instead of stress, presence instead of distraction, and hope instead of fear. When your mind starts the day in gratitude, your energy attracts better outcomes. You begin to recognize opportunities you might have missed. You handle adversity with more grace. You're more resilient, more grounded, and more joyful. That doesn't happen by accident. It happens because you've made a choice. You've decided that you're not going to let circumstances dictate your peace. You're going to walk into each day already anchored in something stronger than your situation. So before the emails, before the deadlines, before the meetings, before the noise, give yourself that gift. Pause, reflect, say thank you, set the tone. You'll be surprised how much better your day feels when you start it from a